we call it EHAP, everything has a place.
Oh, okay.
And so that means since everything has a place, it's time for everything to go back in its place.
I love checklists because I think they're fun to check off. You get that satisfaction of crossing it out. But I've done this before when I've had a big job to do where I will just take a notebook. If I've got my schoolroom is the area in our house that gets the messiest by far because I can close the door on it. I, can throw everything in there and then it gets to the point where I'm like, I can't even walk in here. And so I've done that where I've taken a notepad and I'm like, okay, today I need to just go through books and eliminate however many books I can eliminate. Another day this week, doesn't have to be tomorrow. Another day this week, I'm going to go through our games or I'm going to, do whatever. And eventually you get to the end, like I can vacuum the floors because now I can see them again. And just doing them little bits at a time really does make a big, huge job so much smaller. And so that's what you were talking about when you're saying, just do it little by little. It doesn't have to be everything all at once. It really does make it easier when we make the list, we write it down, we make those goals, and then we bring our kids into doing those things with us. And so talk about that for a minute, because I know that as we're raising our kids, even little kids can do a lot. I mean, it's pretty amazing even what a 2-year-old can accomplish. So how do we bring our kids into this mix and teach them to be joyful keepers of the home as well?
Yeah, one thing that helps when you've broken a big project down is that usually means that you've made it more specific. And that's key to bringing the kids on board.
Yeah.
Is they have to actually even know what you're talking about.
Right.
I remember at one point, I had, we had all the toy bins. And we had a playroom and there was the Duplo bin and the railroad bin, and all of the categorization of all the toys made complete sense to me.
Right.
And I would send the kids, unsupervised to go put things
Go
away.
Clean.
Go clean. And if there were no toys on the floor, they said they'd done it.
Right.
That was their definition. And then, weeks later, I'd come down and look at a bin and every bin was just a jumbled mess.
Right. Like,
and at one point I made some comment to my husband, like, this bin is for railroads. And like, I even at one point put a picture on it, like this one's for railroads and this one's for Duplos. I thought I'm making this obvious.
Right.
And my husband's like, no, it makes sense to you. It doesn't make sense to other people.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh. So actually, I just need to, like, unless I want to be the ones putting all the toys in the place that makes me happy.
Right.
Maybe we should just, their definition is their level right now if they've put the toys in a bin.
Right.
That's actually good enough. Yeah. And so like letting go of, that organization.
Right.
It's better for them to help than it is to have everything categorized.
Yes.
Neatly.
Yeah.
And so like bringing things down to where they can do it. Things like emptying the dishwasher and also just being around then when we give them chores.
Yes.
So that we can give that guidance. We call it EHAP. Everything has a place.
Oh, okay.
And so that means since everything has a place, it's time for everything to go back in its place.
Yeah. Yep.
And so we set a timer. And so that everyone knows it's not this never ending thing that mom's going to keep having you do more and more for the rest of the day. That's how they feel when you say, let's clean.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, 10 minutes. All we're doing is putting things back where they belong.
Right.
And then you can say, is that where that belongs?
Right.
Is that where that, and then you also find out often that they don't know where things belong. And then you can fix that. But being there to supervise and help and guide and teach instead of expecting like that you can give them a list and have them basically be made service unsupervised where you get time back. That happens like when they're 15.
Yes. Yeah. Right.
You really got to put in your time before it's really paying off. or freeing up your time and mental energy. And right as soon as it does, they go get a job. And then,
they're not home.
They're helpful to someone else, but not you.
Yeah, that's right. It's so funny. It's so important to teach our kids. We talk about training them up in righteousness. And this is one of those things that we're training our kids to do things well. We cannot expect our children to know how to, if we say go clean the bathroom, we can't expect them to know how to clean the bathroom if we have not stood alongside of them. Literally, with my girls, I was like, okay, here's the cleaning stuff. I'm going to clean the bathroom and you're going to watch. And that might take a couple of times. And then, the next time say, okay, now you do it and let them do it. And you watch while they clean the bathroom and make sure that, and then you can go back and, let them do it on their own. And you go back and say, okay, well, you completely missed this sink or whatever, you didn't lift the lid on the toilet, whatever it is, but in a gentle way, just showing that correction of, well, here's the correct way to do it. With doing dishes, that's a big thing. How do you load a dishwasher? That doesn't come naturally to everybody. To some it might, but not to everybody. And kids typically want to just get stuff done, especially if there's a timer. They're like, well, I'll just get it done before the timer goes off, but they may not do it well. It's so important for us to train our kids to do things with patience. It's hard to be patient with them sometimes because we expect them, like you said, we expect them to have the maturity that we have, to have the work ethic that we have, and to be able to do things the way that we do them. And children do not typically work that way. Some do, but most don't.
Yeah. Or we even want them to have the work ethic that we wish we had.
Right.
We have in our imagination.
That's right.
It's like, oh, wait, I shortcut my work also.
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
I do that also. And even once they can load the dishwasher or clean the bathroom after that training process, doesn't mean, therefore, from that point forward, they will evermore do it the correct way.
Yes.
One motto I learned from an older homeschool mom was, don't expect what you don't inspect.
Oh, that's a good one. Yes, that's excellent.
Yeah. It's like, if I don't care enough to check in on them, why should I expect them to care enough to do it right?
Homeschool Insights is sponsored by CTC Math. If you're looking for a great online math program, visit ctcmath.com and try it for free. For more great homeschool inspiration and resources, listen to the Schoolhouse Rocked podcast every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday.